Next question. I've encountered an issue in the workplace I've never dealt with before. I'm a former Air Force STO. STO?
Yep. It's like a combat controller. They call in aircraft. They call for fire. They set up airstrips in the field. Mm-hmm. Really cool job.
Okay, as it says here. Or as you may affectionately know us as combat controller. Okay. I'm now a civilian mechanical engineer. Dang, big up. In the oil and gas industry. Through attrition, the people I work closely with have learned a little about what it is I used to do. I'm treated noticeably different as a result. For example, some refer to me as Mr. SF now. My current approach is just to laugh it off and ignore it. But how can I respectfully indicate that when I'm in the office, I'm not that anymore and no different than anyone else?
Well, I think you're taking the right approach, and that is to ignore it. I think there's probably something about your history, right, that people get a little bit either intimidated or comfortable with in some way because they think all of a sudden, you're this different type of thing. But I think it is definitely something where, well, in the SEAL teams, the minute you say, "Hey, don't call me that," like people, that's your nickname for life if you say that. So, I think, for one thing, it sounds like you're not referring back to your time in the service a lot. But another thing is a subtle thing is don't answer to, Mr. SF. Just don't answer to it. And I'm not saying you have to be a jerk about it, but if someone says Mr. SF, "Hey, Mr. SF," you just keep doing what you're doing so don't reinforce that that's what they should call you, right? That's just a basic thing. But I think you're doing the right thing. And I mean, if you ever wanted to say something about it, again, the minute you say something about it, now all of a sudden it turns into a big deal. Now people are whispering hey, he doesn't like to talk about it.
Right.
So now we're in that situation. He doesn't like to talk about it. So, man, just ignore it. Keep working. And I mean, carry on with your mission with these guys in the gas oil. And there's a bunch of veterans in the gas oil industry. I don't know why they're, when we work with gas oil, there's a bunch of vets. Maybe that's more on the front line troopers, but man, I met a bunch of veterans. So I don't know. Maybe they saw a little reaction they got from you.
Yeah.
So let's make sure we're not doing that. Just ignore it and carry on. The best thing you can do, right? In the SEAL teams, if somebody does something that annoys you, do not show it. Same thing in my family with my kids. Man, when my kids figure out that something annoys one of my other kids, they just relentless annihilation with that, whatever that thing is. And I did that when I was a kid. I was, my sisters and I, we were so mean to each other on whatever. And that's sort of, I don't know, I guess that's sort of a tradition in my family is, it's sort of a tradition of no emotional mercy, right? If you find something, you're just going to grind on it. And that's the way it works. And also no credit. No credit will be given. There's no credit will be given. It's just oh yeah, whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, ignore it. They'll get over it.
Kind of like on Lionheart. Remember Lionheart when he's goes, it's a Van Damme movie, man. Anyway, he goes into the final thing against that big guy.
You should do another podcast without me where you talk about cheesy movies.
Bruh, I'm telling you, it's the same. It doesn't matter the movie cheesy or not. It's the exact same concept. You can't show it. So he goes in, broken rib. All the money's on, the table, whatever. Broken rib. He's he gets hit in the rib. Oh, no, he doesn't get hit in the rib. He goes to hit him in the rib, and he flinches all quick. And the big guy he's fighting, goes, he boom. He flinches all quick, and he goes, see what I'm saying? Can't show that.
Don't show that.
Nope.
Good.